Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So we're now on day 2 of the event, War in the Wasteland, and relics are available. And so what I want to do is do two things. Mainly I wanted to go over the main event deck again and go over sort of the mechanic and how to best and most effectively play this deck against legend bosses. So we're going to focus on this deck here. We're also going to take a look at, again, another budget deck that I didn't really show last time, another option that we could have, and see how well this does as well. So let's go and talk about this deck first. So I'm going to just sort of play the deck first, and then I'll explain along the way. One of the challenges that people have is, it's confusing thinking about the fact that you have to store the damage for the ultra rare collection card, and then when is the right time to do it, and how do you match, and how do you avoid matching small gems so you can try and maximize damage. All of these things we'll talk about in this play. And we're gonna go up against a neutral boss right now, so we're going up against Frozen Lovers, so it's not a strong affinity. One thing I wanted to call out before I forget is that this particular deck has a very interesting, I guess, unique aspect to it, and that is the Master Collection card and the event card. They will amplify the damage against light bosses, because the way this works is when you do a 3-key attack, it will take the damage that is stored and then it will apply the 5 times bonus to it, and it has the double bonus for a strong affinity. But then if you go up against a neutral boss, then you don't have the extra affinity bonus. And then if you go up against a weak boss, or weak affinity in this case, if you go up against dark, then what will happen is your initial damage will be halved, and then when you output with your nuke, it's also going to be halved. So this is just something to consider in that, based on the way the card works, this is something to expect when you go up against non-light heroes. Anyway, so let's go in and do attack. With this particular setup, with this kind of deck, actually what I found to be effective is to not worry about what gems you're matching as you're going through the first few turns. So I only have one relic right now, so it does help. It's a lot more helpful than previously when I didn't have a relic there. But still, like, what I'm not worried about is the fact that I'm doing small matches to get my battle skill filled up, because there is, the fact that you're not actually going to be doing any, the fact is you're not actually going to be storing any damage once you're fully charged. So you'll see my Master Collection card and my feature card are both fully charged now. Now it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter what kind of damage I deal. It's not going to store it. So rather than unleashing it now and then worrying about not matching any dark gems, now you can just kind of hold it. So holding on to the gems, holding on to the battle skill actually might be easier for some of you if you wanted to try this. And this way you can just do your matches and wait for intensity. So this game is all about waiting for intensity. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait until about closer to 400, and then I'm going to activate my ultra rares. So I'm gonna activate my ultra rare cards, but I'm not gonna do anything just yet. Instead, what I'm gonna focus on is just do a quick swap here, and then I'm going to let more power gems be created on the second turn, and then I'm going to activate everything, including my gem spawner. And so what I'll do now is do a match. I am now completely fresh with my battle skills, and I'm going to store this damage, and then I'm going to have another activation of my ultra rare cards, and then I'll do the power gem swap to do a second round of damage store, and then I'll finish up with my third round here before I activate my battle skill for my nuke damage. And at this point, you can see my both my Master Collection card and my event card are fully maxed out, fully charged. Let's go ahead and see how much damage this will deal. So we're at 7.7 billion health remaining. We're able to take on the boss this way, and we can see that there's 16 billion overkills. So that nuke attack dealt about 23 billion damage right there. So this is the way I found to be effective for me, and just having that single support card in there basically allowed me to stay alive long enough that I didn't have to worry about it. So I didn't even need more than one. I just had two there. And I would say that if you wanted to go faster, if you wanted this to be a little faster, you don't really actually need Engineering Exenka here. The benefit of having Engineering Exenka is that you will stack the Ultra Rare's passive skill to boost your attack by 75%. So if you don't have Exenka and you have 2 Ultra Rares, you're going to boost your attack by 150%. If you add Exenka in there, you're going to add another 150%, so your damage will actually be 300 times more as opposed to 150. So you're going to end up dealing a little less damage output from your nuke, but if you replaced her with another support card, for example, then what you'll get is actually a quicker turnaround on on your ability to fill out the board with power gems and get a little bit of that nuke damage in earlier rather than later. But as I said, the way I think is if you have the full deck, this is actually a better setup in my opinion. Now, if you have more than 2 ultra rare cards, if you have 3 of them, that's going to be even better because you're going to have more power gem 4 spawning, and you're not even going to need the nuke damage. You're going to be able to just take out the boss completely. And let's see if we have so we don't have a light boss, a legend boss for me to show, but it's even easier. In fact, if I were facing up against a light legend, my nuke damage is usually around the 50 to 6 billion. Just from the Master Collection card. So that's how to play that deck. Now, the second team I wanted to show is the budget-friendly one, which is 3 support cards. I talked about Sobek, still a really good option, and then I'm going to do alternate between 2 cards. The first one I'm going to show is Empyrean Bella. This card is another power gem spawner. It will create 1 dark power gem 3, and it only has 1 turn cooldown. So let's go ahead and throw these 2 cards in, and let's go up against a guild boss, and let's see how we do. So we'll do 3 keys right now, and let's see how well we can take on this boss. So as a guild, we're only at level 152, so I'm hoping that we can push up to 300 as soon as possible so that we can start facing the level 300 guild bosses. So, similar playstyle. Oh, I used the wrong team, so let's go quit and let's go back into attack. So with this particular deck, I have a god on the team, so I have 2 relics I can power up so that I can get more of my battle skills activated right away. And the way Sobek works is he'll create 2 power gems as long as there's at least 8 or more dark gems on the board. And so if you wait a little bit, wait for the intensity to build up a little bit for the support card, then you can activate them, and then you can activate Sobek a little later. And so I think I don't need to wait very long. I think I just need to wait 1 more turn. I'll be able to fill up the board with gems. And I think right now you're seeing a lag here. My phone is heating up quite a bit, and so that's why everything is slowing down. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and activate everything, and then let's see how much damage we can deal right there. So we can do a power gem swap right there. So I don't think this is going to deal enough damage just yet, but we can see. So we're close. So this one dealt about close to 700 million damage right there. And then so we have another 2 more turns of the board basically being filled up. And I forgot here, every single turn you can actually activate Bella as well. And then if you can get them spawning next to each other, that'll be great. But at this point, what you have is Sobek should be available, plus Bella, plus all of the support cards. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to activate these cards. Good, so they're next to each other. And now I'm going to go ahead and activate the support card skills. And then this should, we're definitely going to be able to take out the boss easily. The question is how much damage this will actually deal. So that was about, I think, close to 350. So we're able to deal a total of 1.2 billion damage with that particular setup. Now, what I wanted to show is another variation. Somebody had reached out to me and asked about using the card. Let's just use a filter here to change it to God. and that is the Fallen one. So the Fallen one, if you have him, it doesn't matter whether it's 5-star or 6 stars, the battle skill will be the same. This one will just destroy gems. But I would say that if you're already running a team of 3 support cards, the Fallen one actually will be less useful because you're pretty much going to be filling up the board. So he's going to be useful earlier on when you don't have a lot of intensity just yet. Once the intensity builds up, he effectively becomes, he basically will not be as useful just because you can't use the gem destroyer when the board is already full. So I would say in this case, let's take a look here. So I think what I will do is let's go ahead and activate some cards here just so I can activate Sobek. So you can see that Sobek is activated with 2 power gems. Now I'm going to go ahead and activate all of the other cards, and then now I'm going to drop all of them so that I can get at least more power gems lined up for bigger damage. So again, like when you have higher intensity, this is going to become lesser of an issue. And now let's go ahead and do quick swap here. I think the graphics is really heating up the phone here, so I don't really experience this. Maybe it's also because I'm doing a recording at the same time. I just started noticing how much this actually lags. So apologies for the quality of this particular match right here. All right, so I think what we'll do at this point, I didn't save the power gem there, so that's unfortunate. So now what we can do is activate Sobek again and see if the power gems are close to each other. It doesn't look like they are, and I am also running out of time. So you can see here it actually doesn't actually do anything at this point. And so you can see here having Bella is going to be a better option for you just because you can deal more damage with that extra power gem in there. So that card is also available in the Dust shop so that you can try and get him or her and then level up. So this particular setup dealt about 800 million damage. Okay, so a lot less than the other team. So I would recommend, if you can, either go with 2 Sobeks or a Sobek and a Bella. These cards will really help you out. So that's pretty much all I wanted to showcase here for this particular episode. Mainly, I wanted to talk about the mechanic of the main deck here. There's different variations. I'm using the times 13, the Ultra Master Collection card, and the event card. A lot of people have 2 of them, and so you're going to get more nuke damage, but I personally think that this is a more common setup that I'm seeing people run with, and this is how you run the deck. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps you, and if there's any feedback, any suggestions, any recommendations, please comment down below. Thanks for your time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.